Joining us now, Republican Congressman from Ohio, Mike Turner. He's on the House Oversight Committee and the House Armed Services Committee. Thanks so much for being here. Good to see you, Congressman. I want to have you listen to Speaker Johnson when he found out that the Supreme Court had upheld birthright citizenship against Trump's wishes.
It certainly is time for us to do everything that's possible. I don't know what that is. I think it's clearly an issue that merits the attention of Congress. I don't know what the remedy is, how to define it, or the timeline.
So he says it certainly is time for us to do everything that is possible. I mean, President Trump posted on social media he wants Congress to start working on ending it today. Is this high on the priority list for you? Is it high on the priority list for your voters?
Well, I'm very comfortable with the court's ruling, and I'm not surprised by it, being a lawyer and having looked at the case. I do think, and you had asked the question, why isn't this a 9-0 ruling? And I think Sarah's answer was an excellent answer, and that there are issues of abuses. And I think the issue of abuse is that when those circumstances are given to either yourself or even the average American, that raises the question of, well, how should those, as she had raised the issue of, of birth tourism, how do we regulate those issues to ensure that people aren't abusing the issue of birthright citizenship? And I think that is something that needs to be debated and discussed. The decision, though, I think of the court, it certainly was not unexpected, and I think it certainly is right. The 14th Amendment is certainly a very important one. I think the quote that you had of the Chief Justice's statement is an important one. People look to the birthright citizenship as the commencement of their rights as American citizens.
Yeah. On the other big decision today on allowing states such as Ohio to ban trans students from playing sports with girls or women, what was your reaction to that ruling?
This is another decision that is not a surprise because, again, when you look at issues that where there's an attempt to regulate issues, you look at issues of common sense, and they cited concerns of safety, concerns of really protecting rights, and in this issue, I think there are a number of reasons why these laws should be upheld, and I think the Supreme Court did the right thing.
Last week, the Supreme Court ruled to end TPS, temporary protected status, for hundreds of thousands of Haitians. I don't need to tell you, Ohio has a huge Haitian population, particularly
in my district.
In Springfield, in your district. The Republican governor, Mike DeWine, called the ruling a mistake, citing economic impacts to the state. Obviously, according to the U.S. State Department, Haiti remains incredibly unsafe. What do you think about this? Do you agree with Governor DeWine? Do you agree with Stephen Miller?
Well, I certainly understand the court's ruling because the court is saying that the president has this authority. I do think, though, that as Secretary Mullen said when he was on your show, that there are individuals who are in my community who are contributing. They're contributing. They have jobs, and that needs to be honored. They have made the transition into our communities and become part of the fabric of our community.
And they were here legally also.
And they were here legally. These are not illegals that have come here. And also, as the governor said, as I have said, as other members of Congress, Mike Lawler has said, others who have individuals like this in their community, where they have come from, the basis in which this temporary status is granted is in part because the place that they have come from is dangerous. Haiti remains a dangerous place. So I think that there is certainly both where they have come from and the manner in which they've been integrated into society. Many of them are working. Secretary Mullen says of those that are working and are contributing to society, I think certainly that they should be looked upon differently.
Elena Kagan said she disagreed, obviously, with the ruling. And said that President Trump's argument was based in racism. And she cited a whole bunch of things that President Trump said. You probably are familiar with quite a few of them. Eating the dogs, eating the cats, they're bringing with them aides, et cetera, et cetera.
Which, by the way, is absolutely, completely, and totally untrue.
So, right. But Justice Alito said that he did not see any overt racism in what President Trump said about eating the dogs and eating the cats. What do you think?
It was clearly just incorrect information. But
beyond that,
regardless of the fact that it was incorrect information, and the president's decision, though, is what the court has before it.
Right.
And the court court is making a decision that the decision that the president has is within his authority, and he's not making the decision based upon racism. And I believe that the court has made is understanding his authority and the execution of that authority. I don't think he's making the decision based on racism. However, I must say that in this discussion, it has been incredibly saddening the number of people who've made absolutely racist statements about the Haitian population, about the immigrant populations, about the populations that have come in under these types of programs, and it is saddening. Both, I think, to the immigration discussion and to this discussion.
I want to turn to President Trump's election bill, known as the Save America Act. Speaker Johnson's clearly struggling to get the votes he needs. You and several other Republicans voted no on a rule that would have attached the Save America Act to the defense bill, where it probably would have been doomed anyway, because there's no way the Senate's going to do this. The Senate doesn't have the votes, even 50 votes, to support the president's election bill. Have you heard directly from Speaker Johnson trying to get you to change your vote?
Well, my vote wasn't about that. We actually have, there is a group that is actively trying to get the Save America Act incorporated into the defense bill. There are a group of us who are working with the White House and with the Speaker on working to get a group of Delphi salary retirees who had their pensions taken by the government during the GM bankruptcy.
Oh, okay.
And the White House supports restoring those pensions. And that pension restoration program and plan was supposed to be incorporated into this bill, and it was not in the Rules Committee. And so we didn't support this rule because this rule was supposed to include
the pensions
and restoring these pensions. It's also something that the White House has signaled as part of the supplemental. But this is an injustice. The Delphi salary retirees were the only people in the General Motors bankruptcy that had their pensions taken by the government. Never in history has the government reached in and signaled, selected one group to take their pensions, and we think they deserve justice.
Well, good for you for fighting for them. All right, thanks so much. Congressman Mike Turner from Ohio, thank you.